How you doing, everybody? It's a nice day. Finally have a time to do another video. So, let's see what I have for you today. I'm working on a major, fairly large video with a lot of content to it, and then just this comment came in on one of my videos, and I just didn't sit well with me, and my gut just kind of threw it back, and I figured, well, this is a good learning topic, and so let's just do a video on this. And I'm not picking on the commenter or anything like that. I just thought it was interesting, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions about female nature. There's so much when it comes to men. It's unbelievable. It's like I sometimes wonder what teenage boy porn fantasy world that they live in. And anybody who's had a few relationships will notice the discrepancy and the stupidity in some of this attitude that younger, less experienced guys will have, and if they stay unexperienced, they will retain all these fallacies. So here's the comment. It starts out by saying it's more than that. So of course he doesn't clarify what he means by what he's referring to. He says it's more than that. Okay, I think he's referring to the fact that, this goes back to the Louie Marco videos that I did regarding Louie Marco's attitude towards women, and with me claiming that based on his attitude that he claims that he has, and based on my knowledge of female nature, my conclusion is that Louie Marco gets absolutely no women whatsoever, no pussy whatsoever. Okay, that's the bottom line. That's my thesis, right? And then, of course, all the whippersnappers who want to believe in Louie Marco as this mythical, their own mythical creation, and their hope for their own lives to become like Louie Marco, based on Louie Marco's false representation of who he is. It's just frustrating. And again, I have absolutely nothing against Louie Marco. I think the bottom line is he's a real good guy. He's trustworthy. He's in good shape, and he lives a clean life. And as far as I know, he hasn't committed any crimes. So I have nothing against him. But all his supporters kind of make him look stupid. And they're not actually supporting Louie. They're supporting their own incapacities and their own failings in life. And Louie just kind of represents somewhere that I guess they want to go. They want to go that route, which is kind of bizarre to me. But oh well. So he continues, sexual gratification and pleasure is a need for most women. Sexual gratification and pleasure is a need for most women. Okay. Mind you, I understand that prudes exist, but sexual pleasure is a need for them. So women are in it for sexual pleasure. Okay. All right. Wasn't aware of that, but he says, believe me, I know. Okay, so you do know. All right, so you've witnessed this, that women are going around looking for sexual pleasure. Wow, that would be too easy, wouldn't it? Okay, that is why she may cheat on her loving, secure, stable, and rich husband who is providing the life she wants. she's going to cheat with the pool boy or the plumber who makes little to no money and will be out of her life in a few months because they are sexually driven. So because women are sexually driven and aroused, rather he says women are aroused by these guys because they are sexually driven and aroused by her. Okay, I understand. So she gets really turned on that these guys get turned on by her, and they're driven by sexuality. Okay. All right, so what is that telling us about her husband? All right, so her husband has no sex drive. Okay, I understand. Yet he's loving. How does that work? No sex drive, but loving. The consequence of cheating on her husband and in the past was that her ass was thrown into the street. Well, not that simple, is it? That really didn't happen in the past for many, many reasons. But now, with bias in divorce court and alimony payments, there are no consequences. Women and men cheat in huge numbers for sexual gratification. So women cheat for sexual gratification and men cheat for sexual gratification. Well, for one thing, women do not cheat for sexual gratification. All right? Start there. Start there by knowing that fact, okay? And then he goes and says, do not forget this. It's as much a resource to many women as money and commitment. So pure sex, pure horniness is very important for women. That's what he claims. All right. Unsatisfied married women are a man's delight. They often do freaky shit for you as well, instead of just laying there and letting you eat her pussy. Many times buying you things and taking you out to dinner with the husband's money. Explain that, is what he says. Well, okay, let me try, but I mean this is really tough with a mind like this. It's tough, okay? Because I think nothing will go in there. But let me try. So, okay, so I'm a writer and I love to write, and I wrote all of this. I wrote all this out, okay? So I might as well just use it, okay? Might as well use it and read it for you. The above statement is erroneous on many levels. If we are truly knowledgeable about female nature, then we will understand female sexuality. Only then will we be able to predict female sexual response, how females will react to sexual stimuli, and what will motivate them sexually. Only if we understand female nature, okay? That's what I'm saying there. It is a grave danger if any male projects male sexuality onto any woman, okay? So do not project your own male sexuality onto a woman. It does not work. You end up with pure male fantasy. That's all that you got. You got yourself all worked up, all horny, all aroused, but it's false. So this fantasy, which only immature, gullible males will believe and even defend because they wish to do so. And because they wish it to be so. That's why they defend it. Okay? Unfortunately, males need their sexual fantasies as much as women need their own type of romance novels. This first step is understanding these differences, is being aware. The first step in understanding these differences is being aware that male and female sexuality is vastly different. All right? Any woman will tell you that. You sit down with any woman and they will tell you. Okay? Most of what excites the male sexually will engender the complete opposite effect in a woman. Most of what males need for sexually is quite different from what women need for emotional fulfillment. You notice I said most of what men need sexually, and then I said emotional fulfillment for women, because that is what women need, not sex, all right? Sex is just the icing on the cake. No woman is going around looking for sex unless they're fucking sick, all right? There are sick women, all right? But the percentage is small. And if you ran into one of these, don't categorize all women. Don't categorize healthy functioning, sexually healthy functioning women as being sick. And that, because that is not the norm. Sex for women is not separated from emotion. Never separate from emotion. But ultimately, neither it is. It's neither for men. All right. Men need emotion in a relationships just as much as a woman does, but in quite different order and in a different way. Women admit to it, but most men are not brave enough to, and that they need emotion. And this is why men are misunderstood as being the stoic gender, which they are not. It's always women that are bringing up emotion, this, emotion, and feelings this and feeling that, and I need to feel emotions first before I can commit sexually and give myself to you. Men don't talk like that because the order is different. I will get to that later. Differences lie in what arouses the genders, the route they follow, and the order in which they go about it. But both genders need emotion to make the sex act a human experience. So the differences lie in what arouses the genders, which are different things. The route that they follow to get aroused, and the order in which they go about it. But both genders need emotion to make the sex act a human experience. Women, however, have totally different hormones that are triggered by totally different stimuli. So no, there are no women in bars looking for sex, all right? There's no rich women outside their mansions looking for a decent-looking young guy to fuck them. No. Let's put aside the known fact that there are rare, deviant, emotionally damaged, and mentally dysfunctional females. Yes, there are a few. I have had a few, okay? The healthy female will never cheat or have casual sex with a male based on sexual satisfaction alone. All right? I don't want to be bothered doing this. I need privacy. All right. No woman will ever gain anything from being a free whore for a random male, even one with a fit body and great looks, like Louie Marco. Remember, I said routinely. Remember, I said healthy females, all right? We're talking about healthy females here, not messed up ones emotionally. If you believe that this scenario is a common occurrence and females routinely look for sexual gratification devoid of emotion, then you must not be knowledgeable of female nature. If this were the case and consistent with healthy female nature, the world would have functioned and procreation would not have been this successful. The world would have functioned very differently and procreation would not have been this successful. I can only attribute such an ill-informed remark to a commenter's residual sexual fantasy as depicted in a movie he may have seen recently. The key element you are missing here is the absence of emotion. The pool boy has the potential to provide not sexual but emotional gratification, while the disinterested husband ignores his wife. In that case, it's a plausible scenario if the pool boy gives her emotional attention. Because what the husband is doing is actually neglecting her. Not loving her, neglecting her. He ignores his wife or simply is incapable of fulfilling her with the emotion and attention she craves. It is never sex alone. In essence, the woman is starved of emotion and attention. There's a lot of problems with marriages just simply because the woman is starved of emotion and attention. Not really sex, all right? Emotion and attention. If a woman has ample emotion and attention paid to her, she will never cheat, all right? Physical sex is not her incentive. Sexual pleasure for female is a need only as a derivative of her prime necessity, which is emotional fulfillment. I cannot mention it enough times. So, in order for Louie to have all those women that I think people imagine him of having or are creating this persona of him having all these women, it would be possible if Louie was to give them a lot of emotion, a lot of attention. And that takes time. It takes a lot of effort. And you have to be born with it. Not very many men have the talent for it. Fucking a woman in 5 minutes is very easy. You need no talent for that. She's not going to get off. Trust me. You're going to leave dry and empty. And that's what you're going to get out of it, all right? But if you really want to satisfy a woman, if you really want a woman to be crazy for you, then you must fuck her brain, not her pussy. You gotta fuck her brain, right? Therefore, the pool boy would have to be successful in first and primarily, and most importantly, fucking her brain. In order for the unsatisfied, married, rich woman to spread her legs and give him access to her pussy. This important first and primary step cannot be bypassed when dealing with female sexuality. The commenter made the erroneous statement that the unsatisfied wife is simply horny and wants her pussy licked. This may be perfectly congruous with gay sex between two homosexual males, but not in heterosexual interaction between a man and a woman. Not even with the most imaginably sluttiest girl out there, okay? The man may first be thrilled by it, but not for long, and the woman will simply not stand for it. So if you do manage to get sex from a woman and give her only sex, give her only your dick, and you pound her, you pump her, and then you dump her, is what the Louie Marco method is, right? Or well, actually, to him that concept is as foreign as it is to anybody else. But his supporters basically fantasize that that's what Louie Marco is. But even if that was the case, the guy may be thrilled by it, superficially for, initially, very initially, but it'll be an empty experience, and the woman will simply not stand for it, and that is guaranteed. It is the last time you will ever see her, because you're crap. That is the definition of a crap guy, of a guy that has no game, a guy that has no skill, okay? And you will never be validated by a woman for being in demand, for being desirable. Never. You will never be validated for, your masculinity. And I know that's what you're after. But that won't happen if you don't give emotion. The commenter also makes the mistake of stating that her rich husband is loving. The woman would not cheat if her husband was loving. He may pay all the bills and support her affluent lifestyle, but he is not loving. And that's exactly what her hypothetical problem, with this hypothetical woman's problem is, that he is not loving. And she's seeking out the pool boy because he has game. And you know what his game is? He can woo a woman. He can make a woman feel wonderful. And the pool boy, this hypothetical pool boy, knows women and knows what women need. And that's why he gets to have her. So the husband is not loving. If she is seeking emotional fulfillment from random males and having casual sex with them just to get attention and emotional fulfillment. So it's pretty sad that the woman's got to go around having sexual, she's a whore. She's having sex with no emotion. Now, what the fuck is that a definition of? Everybody knows. Just think about it for like one fraction of a second, and you come up with the answer. That's a whore. Sex with no emotion. So is that what the rich wife is? She's a whore? You could literally go up to her and say, you're a whore. And she can't deny it. She says, I guess I am a fucking whore. Yeah. And I've been a whore for a long time. No woman wants to be a whore. The true whores get paid. The ones that are not whores get paid with emotion, or they get paid, by indirectly, by utility of some kind. We're getting back to all women are whores, right? See, everything's in the details. you see one of these videos and you get all hot-headed and you go, what the fuck is he talking about? My wife is not a whore. Well, just calm down, sit down, and you may not be perceptively talented. Again, it's a characteristic that few are born with. But sit down and really try and go deeper into the details and start analyzing the individual, start analyzing the situation, think about the history of the individual and the relationship, and you will come up with the answer. It may take you a while, okay? No woman, so here's the lesson. No woman will cheat if they are emotionally satisfied. That's all there is to it. The commenter also is unaware that women generally, well, here's the big thing. Now, if you know the average woman and if you know the average man, now you cannot know female nature unless you also learn male nature. And a lot of males don't know their own male nature. They've never thought about it. And they don't know female nature. Females don't know male nature. Females don't know their own nature. So it's a real mess. Like, can you imagine how relationships even can even exist? I have a hard time even imagining how it's even possible. I mean, there's so much ignorance on both sides. It's just insane. It's not a surprise that men going on their own way, they just give up. They just like, where do you start, right? Well, this is where you start. It has to do with awareness and even more awareness and even more awareness. And then you may start to understand the situation, how it works, and get rid of those young teenage boys sex porn fantasies. Get rid of those if you can. I know it's hard, and I know that what excites us as men, we look at a woman and she's totally disgusted and turned off because that's not how their brain works. Okay? And if you're infatuated with Louie, you look at Louie and you see just a hunk of man that just the epitome of an alpha male, and you aspire to be him, and my God, he's my hero. He's the daredevil of men, and he's got game. He's got so much game. It's unreal. He's an outlaw. And I want to be an outlaw like Louie. Just remember, a girl will not see it that way. Nothing like it. Okay? That's where you're fooling yourself. Stupid men. Stupid men. It's unbelievable. A woman will look at the features that you find absolutely admirable and worth of your utmost respect. A woman will fucking just say, nothing there for me. And either the guy will be totally invisible, or she will just turn around and walk away. Never look back. Okay? It's a different world. Different hormones, different sexuality. Male and female sexuality is vastly different. Okay, this is an important point here, and it's kind of embarrassing, right? But you got to face this, okay? And this is a statement on men. And it's a huge topic on its own. Huge, humongous topic. I mean, there's no time to go into it right here. And the sun's going down, and it's getting cold, and mosquitoes are biting me. How's my battery? Well, it's still okay, I guess. But, okay, the commenter is unaware that women generally can get themselves off sexually much easier and with a lot less hassle and emotional residue than any ordinary male is capable of doing. Now, this is a statement on men. Most men are terrible at sex. They just suck. All right? And women, the way women function is women are not aware of their body's capabilities. And women do their thing, and some of them get off and some of them don't. And you know, they can masturbate and they can get themselves off a lot easier, probably all the time, a lot of them, by themselves way easier than a man knows how to do it. Men simply don't know women sexually either. And they're terrible at sex. And I can just imagine, and I've been told, every woman I've been with, I've been told, and I've been just horrified what I've been hearing, you know, how awful men are at sex. And you cannot addict a woman unless you're great at sex. That's the bottom line. And unfortunately, a lot of good women are ruined by very incompetent, sexually incompetent men. Because a woman needs to be developed sexually, literally developed sexually. It's like training a dog, right? Ooh, that sounds awful, doesn't it? I don't mean it that way. But see, a dog may have potential, but if you don't train a dog correctly, you're just going to get one dog that can never reach his or her potential, right? And if you train that dog, it's amazing what that dog will attain in terms of behavior and in terms of intellectually, you know, how smart the dog is, and female sexuality is the same way. It has to be developed. Literally, their hormones have to be developed developed for what, you ask, right? Developed so that a woman is sexually responsive, so that she doesn't just lie in a bed on her back and spread her legs. That's not sex. And then the guy comes and ejaculates inside of her in 5 minutes, and wow, man, I fucked her, man. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to dump her. You know, that's not a game, all right? That's not game. That's being a fucking loser, all right? And you know what? You're going to end up 40 years old still doing the same shit because you got no skill, no talent. You know nothing about female nature, and you're keep spewing your teenage boy porn fantasies. That's your attitude, okay? So unfortunately, because of how awful men are, women can get themselves off a lot easier than being with a guy. So they're not going to be looking for guys just for sex, okay? They can do that themselves much better than the average guy can for them, okay? Now, if you're great at sex, that's a different story. You can addict a woman, all right? But there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. It's absurd to think that any woman would be looking for sexual fulfillment. From the usual sexually incompetent male who is not familiar with her body, for one thing, because he's a stranger, okay? You got to know a woman's body. You got to know the woman to know her body. And each woman is different. Somewhat. So it is absurd to think that any woman would be looking for sexual fulfillment from the usual sexually incompetent male who is not familiar with her body, regardless of his looks and fitness level. That doesn't matter. He could be a dud. Most of them are. He's got a dick. He won't know how to use it. He doesn't know how to use it. He's gonna jack off inside the woman. Wow, that'll really give her something. To truly get a woman off sexually, a man needs high level of sexual prowess, high sex drive, which even a lot of you guys don't have. You gotta be as horny as fucking shit, all right? You gotta desire a woman. You gotta desire her like the greatest tasting food in the world. You gotta desire a woman. You gotta have stamina. I'm talking 2 hours. Women need time. And yes, he must be emotionally, first and foremost, he has to be emotionally giving. Emotionally giving. None of this fucking crap where you're on your first date and, you know, just want to put it right down on the table so we both know I'm a very honest guy, and I'm telling you, for me, you're going to get nothing. I'm just going to fucking hump you. All right? You're fine with that, right? Oh, yeah, I just want to be with you. Can I just be? Yeah, anything. Like, you're going to get nothing from me. You're okay with that, right? Yes, absolutely. Never. You're going to get no commitment from me. You're going to get no emotion from me. I'm just going to hump you and dump you. Or is it pump you? Well, if you're a lifter, right? Then you're going to pump her and dump her. Yes. That's I can guess how many chicks you get. Guess, not guess. I know how many chicks you get. I know, with that attitude. All right, you can't put anything past me, because I know female nature and I know male nature. And if you know those two, no bullshit will get past you. All right? And you're truly not going to be looking for rich women outside their mansions looking for sex. Okay? I can't believe this. All right. So, oh my God, this is so fucking long. It's unbelievable. What the Anyway, the reason you make the mistake of misrepresenting female sexuality is because men work the other way around. And you are thinking with a male brain. Now, what do I mean by the other way around? For men, physical intimacy can and preferably will come first. Men desire physical intimacy for them to come first. After which men become emotionally attached to the woman. Yes, you do. Trust me. There's no fucking dumping going on. The only dumping that's going to go on is if the chick is going to dump your ass for being a fucking incompetent loser, an adult, okay? Because usually men get emotionally attached to the woman, unless she's really ugly and they're not attracted, right? That happens. But if you find that woman attractive, there's going to be no dumping going on your part anyway. It's your ass that's going to be dumped. Wow, I just shattered some male ego out there, my God. This is for normal functioning males. If you're a normal functioning male, if you're healthy, sexually healthy male, okay? And under normal circumstances. That's what I'm referring to. We only deal with normal, healthy sexuality here, not deviance. There's all kinds of deviance out there. No, we don't touch that. Okay. Even this is opposite for women, in that women must become emotionally attached first, not sexually, but emotionally attached first. So women are not going to be looking for casual sex because they will have to be emotionally attached first before she can give herself sexually. You can now see how ridiculous the notion is for any male to disclose to a woman that he will be providing nothing to her, only his amazing cock, and that he will promise to leave her with a cream pie at the end and nothing more. Oh my God, now that's a prize. That's a prize for any woman. Oh yeah, they're gonna jump at that. Oh yeah. You can be sure that no woman will ever jump at this rare opportunity. So again, that goes back to my video about conceding to women. You must concede to women or you will get nothing. All right? You will be in a fantasy world, and that's all you will be in. Okay? You must understand that there is no sexual gratification for a woman without without emotion as commitment and what a man will do for her. She's going to have to feel a commitment. She's going to have to feel emotion. And then her sexuality will appear and blossom. It's unfortunately, if you listen to MGTOW videos, and I'm sure that a lot of you have for maybe years, I mean, the whole theme is that women are looking for what you will do for them, and so you know, please learn these things that other MGTOWs are telling you as well, and it is true. It is true. Casual sex. Wow. Casual sex. You know, in the long run, a man gets nothing out of that. Absolutely nothing. And a woman, in the short term and the long term, the woman, gets absolutely nothing out of it. And women don't usually like to do something that they get nothing out of. Believe me. You know, unless you're a celebrity, unless you offer a lot of status, you are somebody, you won't get the time of day if you're not offering something. You got to put something on the table. You got to offer emotion is the primary thing, right? You have to understand women and their tenacity for emotional fulfillment. Women have this tenacity for emotional fulfillment in favor of sexual fulfillment. If you don't understand that it's plain stupid and no pussy will ever come your way, or never again, you will not be able to retain it. Right? Here are the 3 conditions under which you can have casual sex. Your 3 options, okay? A lot of this topic of casual sex comes up so much in MGTOW, and it just makes me shake my head like, you know, are you having wet dreams or what? Casual sex. Okay, you can have. Okay, see, these are the 3 conditions under you can have casual sex. You can pay for it as a business transaction, right? We all know all about that, right? As you pay for any service, which is called prostitution, right? Yeah. You call that casual sex? Yeah, you can have casual sex doing prostitution, right? The second scenario is you can take advantage of a vulnerable woman in a poor mental state. Okay? Knowing that she does not actually want you and would never want you under any other situation. So she's vulnerable emotionally. She's in a bad mental state. She's got low self-esteem, and you come in, and the next day you're bragging to everybody, and you're doing you're bragging, in some YouTube comment section about all the fucking casual sex you're having. Now, it's gross, right? It's absolutely gross. And not only that, You got nothing out of it, did you? Be honest. You got absolutely nothing fucking out of it. You know why? Because it does not validate your masculinity. Okay? You took advantage of somebody. You took advantage of somebody who normally would never want you, or will never look at you ever again. Oh, you can go in the comments section and say, I pumped and dumped. There's the pump and dump again. You pumped and dumped. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Remember, everything is in the details. But of course, this is the internet, right? You're anonymous. You don't even have an avatar, or you've got, I don't know, you've got the Incredible Hulk as your avatar. You don't have to disclose the details, do you, right? So that's not very fair, is it? No, it's not very fair. No. Third scenario, even worse. Even worse. You can take advantage of an inebriated woman, or a deliberately sedate a woman. That's called rape. You call it casual sex? The law calls it rape. You're going to find your ass in jail. So those are the three scenarios under which casual sex will occur. Now, which one do you choose? Anyone? None of them work, do they? No. Some of them are plain gross. That's not controlling women. That's not being in control. That's not being masculine. That's not being, that's not having a game? That's having a game? Oh man, come on, dude, you're fucking sick. So everything a woman decides to engage in, of her own volition is a service contract. You can look at it that way, right? And you've heard that in all kinds of other MGTOW videos or men's videos, right? On female nature. So this can be paid directly in tax-free cash, or it can be paid in emotional gratification. But never only sexual gratification for a woman. That's your own stupid male sexuality that you're projecting on any one woman. And if you're going to do that, you're going to fucking end up with nothing. Okay? As far as you may have been taught that this is, MGTOW heresy. Oh, he's a beta. You don't even fucking know what beta is. You don't know what alpha is. I got to do a video on that. Totally misusing those terms. Those are psychological terms. They are not based on your relationship status. It has to do with your fucking personality. Not if you're in a relationship or you're married or you're divorced or you've got tons of women. It's not based on that. You can do all that and be a beta. It has to do with personality, and personality you cannot learn. You got to be born with it. Born with it. Understand? It's nothing you can learn. I can't even take a gun and fucking force you into being an alpha. You can't do it. I can't take an alpha and make him into beta. Can't do it. Can't do it. You're born with it. That's your core personality. And it's how you approach everything in life. All right? Just because you get married, you don't become a beta. Just because you concede to one woman or 100 women, you're not a beta, okay? This is because a woman never can be fulfilled through sex alone. Let me read it again. This is because a woman can never be fulfilled through sex alone. But neither can a man, for that matter. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. A woman can never become sexually fulfilled by sex alone. Now listen to that one. Listen to this amazing sentence. A woman can never become sexually fulfilled by sex alone. Is that amazing? You think about that. There is no sexual satisfaction for a woman without an emotional component. There is no sexual satisfaction for a woman without a sexual component. There's no sexual satisfaction for a woman without a sexual... I made a mistake. There's people coming here with a dog. They distracted me. Okay, let me say it again. There is no sexual satisfaction for a woman without an emotional component. There's no sexual satisfaction for a woman without an emotional component. Married women are a man's delight. Really? Only, well, maybe, only if the woman has been neglected and emotionally starved. And only if you have the ability and the willingness to woo her and concede to her emotional needs. Emotional needs. Let me read it again. Married women are a man's delight. Yes. Only if the woman has been neglected emotionally and emotionally starved. And only if the man that she picks is able to woo. Only if you as a man is able to woo her and concede to her emotionally and fulfill her emotional needs. Sex alone is never enough for a woman. How many times did I tell you this? She must be emotionally attended to. She must be emotionally attended to first, primarily. All right? With a man, it's after sex. For a woman, it's before sex. And that's the root of all the problems. All the fucking problems. There have been times when I've been too fast and I was infatuated with a particular woman. And my male nature took over and I couldn't control myself. Scared her off. Why? Because the woman didn't know anything about male nature. I didn't realize that if I have her, or at least come close to having her, she will then have me. She will then have me. Because women are so afraid of this fucking pump and dump Louie Marco thing, you know. You stupid fuckers, you've ruined it. You've ruined women. They're so fucking paranoid of this that a good guy comes along, a real competent guy comes along, and they're afraid. They're afraid. They're saying, well, you know, this guy's real good looking and everything, but I'm sure all he wants is sex. No, a healthy guy does not just want sex. And why would a woman want your fucking crappy sex anyway? All right? So forget about this pump and dump, pump and dump. You know, it's coming out of my fucking ears and nose and every orifice of my body. I fucking hate it. Because it's so stupid. Sex alone is never enough for a woman. She must be emotionally attended to. Then and only then will she open up her legs and let you find out what her limits are, what her crazy shit. That's how you will find out about the crazy shit. She wants your crazy emotions, and then she'll give you her crazy shit, sexually. The freaky sexual shit that all you dumb fucks are talking about will only come if women get all that they need emotionally first. Okay? So how's that? How's that for a fucking lesson on a Saturday evening in the park? Thanks for listening. And guess what? Just like last time, I only got through half of my essay, half of my lecture. So that's good. We'll leave the other half for the next video. How's that? And I'm still working on the big one too. Well, they're all big, aren't they? Yeah, that's the only way. It's the only way you can do it. You know, you want a little video that all the 9-year-olds get, you know, on YouTube, with all the crazy editing and blah, 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 blah. No, you're not gonna get it here. No, not here. You gotta go and subscribe to these you know, guys and girls who have you know, million+ subscribers, and they do these videos for 9-year-olds, right? So if your intellectual capacity is at that level, then this is gonna be too much for you. Anyway, appreciate you listening, appreciate your appreciation, and we'll talk to you soon.